Hey everyone, this is Louisa Munson. You might know me as Mrs. M, and you're listening to the highlights of our ebook Should I Move to Portugal, which is celebrating the first 5 years of our family life in this amazing country.
Wow, Munson here from Good Morning Portugal, and yeah, just hot from the morning show. Literally just a few minutes ago, talking with Gilda, who was sharing a situation. Gilda from EI, some of you might know Gilda from EI, wonderful migration agency with their heart-led leader. Quite extraordinary. Do check out that show this morning and what Gilda was sharing, and get a sense of where she's coming from. And I think the world needs more people like Gilda, and the business world needs more people like Gilda. What a very different world it would be if people were um, like her, basically, in their approach to work and business. Anyway, we're not here to discuss that, but I felt like I couldn't not mention it. I'm very moved and inspired by how Gilda was this morning. Okay, we're reading from Should I Move to Portugal, our memoir, our report on our first 5 years of life here in Portugal. Funnily enough, Gilda was mentioning how Brits need to go get their biometric cards. And that's what's happening now. The people post-Brexit, the Brits need to get their biometric cards. So we need to go in and get our photos taken and end up finally with some nice cards that is, well, I suppose it reflects a special relationship between the UK and Portugal post-Brexit, and an honouring of the relationship and how British people can stay resident here in Portugal. Okay, let's have a look at this then. Ghastly Ghostly Forests. This is a pretty serious and grisly thing to share with you. Our little research foray has been fun. If you saw yesterday's excerpt, you'll have seen that we've been on tour, and Mrs. M is not especially impressed or interested. I beg your pardon. Mrs. M is not especially impressed or interested by Tabua and what lies around it, despite being the area that first won my affection in 2007. We like the first taste of Coimbra, our first taste of Coimbra, with its ancient academic landscape made modern by youthful energies and bright sunshine. Really enjoyed that first visit to Coimbra. Nazaré, a place I'd also enjoyed 10 years earlier, was foggier than I remembered, something that anyone interested in living on the Silver Coast should bear in mind. However, on second thoughts, why else would it be called silver? It's not just a reference to the hair color of the expats living there. Tee-hee. No particular location then is shouting out to us at this stage, and for now, we're happy to make the most of a late, hot, and lazy summer. Getting to know Tamar's charming character, because we're living on the outskirts of Tamar, both in the convent-dominated city centre and out of town, dipping ourselves in the cool reservoirs. Life is good. However, riding around back in central Portugal, there was one thing that really made an impression on us: the charred and ghostly landscapes with blackened trees pretty much everywhere as you drive around. Wildfires earlier this year of 2017 that I'm talking about had claimed the lives of 66 people and caused hundreds of injuries. In the cafes, the TV screens are understandably focusing on the aftermath of that. And at this stage, where are we? We're in the moving from September into October here in 2017. Little did we know that more fires and deaths were to come that October. Circumstances that would twist our plot for good, and in somewhat panicked fashion. Yeah, it got scary, and I'll tell you more about that as I begin to write more about this particular time on our journey in Portugal in 2017. There you go in that picture. After the initial shock, we became used to the common sight of burned, charred plantations like this one on the hills. Very eerie, ghastly and ghostly. Thank you very much for tuning in for another reading of Should I Move to Portugal? The wildfires have been bad again this year, and it seems that the deeply sobering circumstance of 2017 did have some sort of legacy, but it remains a thing. It remains an issue with all sorts of angles: political, corruption, downright stupidity by people. It remains an issue. I can't. We can't avoid the fact that wildfires and fires are a part of life here in Portugal, although they do seem to be fairly well managed, but there is some work to do, and it's of course a topic that will come up for further discussion in the future, both here as I write and read the book, and of course on the morning show. and within the community. So thank you very much for being here today. Be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.
So we hope you're enjoying listening to our adventures. Don't forget that Good Morning Portugal is all about helping you to feel at home in Portugal. And if you'd like to know more about how we can help you on your journey, just go to www.goodmorningportugal.com.